So this is where that storm hit the other day and blowed down. I think there's 4 of these hackberries that's blowed down and one more that I had to cut over there. And me and Chris are about to chip all this here. Hey Chris, go get that 362 out of the truck too. Bring it just in case we'll have 2 saws up there. I got the chipper set here. I'm fixing to aim the chute and we're gonna blast these chips out into the woods out here, because it ain't gonna hurt a thing. They're good with it going out there. So I'm gonna set the camera over here where y'all can kind of watch. Maybe I won't wipe it out or anything. So this machine here, paired with the Mini and the Rotobeck grapple, has made me so efficient. It's unbelievable. This job right here, Chris worked with me till about lunch. We stopped for lunch and then he went on home, and I came back and I chipped every bit of this stuff on this job here and got it. There's a little bit left, kind of tidying up to do on it, but I wasn't expecting to roll through it. And part of it is because the chipper, the size that I got. I've had a lot of people ask me if I wanted, if I wished I wouldn't have went with the 18-inch. No, the 15 is perfect for me. It's more than enough. Plenty of chipper. Their chippers are very heavy, very, very heavy. Matter of fact, we went to go do another job on this same morning, and when I backed off the pavement, the chipper just basically sunk in the ground. It was too wet there, so we backed up and then came to work this job here instead. So you still have to get off like this short stuff and just feed it in, but it don't take but a second to throw this stuff through there. So we just come on over here and got after it. But the machine has a 30-gallon tank on it, and I took and burnt an entire tank of gas through this thing right here during this whole episode. I mean, just it's a workhorse. This thing does not play whatsoever. I mean, it just gets with the program. So here's a perfect example. I'm not having to cut this stuff up. I'm just feeding the whole limbs in there. You're not having to wrestle this stuff. Just pick it around, set it around. Sometimes I'm taking and crushing these limbs where it makes them fold, where they'll feed. Because once it gets up there, them feed wheels, it's over with. And even if it does hang, you can just back it up. If it don't fold, you can back it out of the chamber there and disengage the wheels and cut whatever you need to do. But I mean, just watch this thing here. So what Chris is doing, he's reversing the feed wheels, and it's basically making it crush this stuff. As it starts to kind of hang there a little bit, he'll reverse it and then throw it back into forward, and it'll pretty much once it does it about twice on these smaller limbs, it'll go ahead and suck it on in there. Sometimes you still got to get down with a saw, but I mean, even still, I mean, look at what it's doing right here, and the time saving is happening. So I had several questions about the lights I've got inside the chip chamber right there where the feed table is. You know, what about limbs like that one that just went through there, brushing them? Those lights are protected. Those limbs, no matter what goes through there, it's not going to affect them. You can see Chris, what he's doing, he's working the yoke, what's called the yoke, and it opens the feed wheels there. And so he watches when I come up there with a piece, with a good sized piece, and he opens them, and as soon as I get the butt there where it's inside of him, he drops it on there, and then I let go of it, and it's over with. Then the worst thing about this is the trees were laying backwards for me, so I had to get everything up and spin it around, which was still no big deal with the Mini here, just picking this stuff up, because I had come through here 2 weeks ago when the storm hit and had cut the majority of everything up. There was still some stuff that had to be cut up, and this is also an insurance job, so I had to wait for the insurance to get all that stuff situated and all to be able to go in there and do the job. So that's the reason why these trees have dried out. And if you notice over to my left, the amount of dust, the fiber that's coming off of these things when it's chipping, these hackberries are unreal as far as the dust that's coming off these crazy things. So I did a little trimming on this one here. I slid it back at the very end of the feed table. Trim what need to be trimmed, and then we sent her back in there and let her eat. One other thing I want to note, with all the fiber in these leaves, as they were chipping, a lot of them were just the fiber from them were floating around. This chipper pulls an incredible amount of air through the radiator and the cooling system on it. That screen on the left-hand side, we kept it, every now and then we go over there and rub the fiber off of it, and I would glance at the temperature on the machine, and Chris was watching it too, because I kind of figured that it might try to heat up just a little bit or something. But the highest the temperature ever got on this thing, and see, that's what Chris is, well, yeah, he's finna walk up there and check it now, was 180. And my hat's off to Bandit and the engineers that put the cooling package on these machines, because this thing has a 6.2 liter Ford gas engine in it. I want to add this into the video. People all the time talking about putting a receiver with a vise on it. This is how I do it right here. I have these pieces of round stuff, weld it right there, and then I just pin the vise to it so you can actually pick it up. The plate stays on the vise. I throw the vise and everything in my truck. That way, in the receiver and all that mess, I'm not having to duck down up under there. I do it right here on the side of my gooseneck and sharpen up. It's the way I do it. So maybe folks that see this in the video and get that. This is what it looks like right now currently compared to what it looked like at the first of the video. You can go back and watch that. Chris and I run the chipper all day. The chipper, which is no big deal, but it's got a 30-gallon tank on it. Of course, it's a gas burner, and if you're running the dog out of that thing there, it will not run all day on that 30 gallons of gas. You'll have to put gas in it if you're gonna do that. But I can finish up doing what I'm gonna do here today on it without it, without me having to put gas in it. Very seldom will I be on a job like this where I am just hammering it as much as I can. But I have on this one right here, I still got to pick up a good bit more stuff and work in it. But first I'm gonna sharpen a couple of saws. I got some saws that need some attention here. My 550 especially, run it a lot today. I'm gonna put an edge on it, get it fixed up. So the cool thing about YouTube is I can ask questions, kind of like the phone number thing the other night, and then I get a lot of feedback. People will help me out. So I need a little help on something here now too. The people who are in the arborist community that fool in these, that do, work in these yards all the time, and are in and out with mini skids, you know, equipment, chippers, bucket trucks, chip trucks, all that stuff like that. What happened to me yesterday morning when I backed in and the chipper sunk on my chipper weighs a little over 8,000 pounds is what it weighs. I almost wish it had tandem axles up under it. It would help hold it up a lot better, but I am in need of mats now, and I know there's several different ones out there to buy, but I'm not sure what to purchase. So the guys and the girls that are in the arborist world, if you could help me out, tell me what to buy and what's the best mats out there for the money, and also where to buy them from, because I want to get a pretty good collection of them. That way, when I run on jobs like I did there yesterday morning, I can throw mats down and I can still complete the job and get out of there and don't do any damage to the yard whatsoever. Dean and them were there too yesterday doing work, and me and Chris worked on the couple of ruts that were made, and then Dean and them did some pretty major edging on the driveway and the sidewalks, so they were able to capture that sod that was overlapped, and then they laid it back over that, so they fixed it up, so I didn't have to go back over there to do that. So they had my back on that. But let me know. So you send me an email. My email's right down below. If you want to, just shoot me an email on that. I hope y'all enjoyed the video today. A lot of fun making this one. Chris lives right here by me, and he's a lot of fun to work with. The Sena helmets, the Protos helmets with the Sena communication. I'm gonna tell you, if you're doing arborist work and you don't have those systems, you are truly missing out. They are like running a chipper. Being able to talk back and forth is just absolutely incredible. To be able to do that and tell him different things, or he tell me something, and there's no lag there or miscommunication there. And just like I'm talking to y'all right here, we can hear each other. Just an awesome setup. I do not regret spending that. That's some cheap safety insurance right there. But if you need some tree work, my email's down below. Shoot me an email. We'll get together, and I'll look at your job and see what you got. So hope y'all all have a good Sunday today. The chipper's name is Ms Piggy. That's what I named her. And she's bad. She's just like Ms Piggy. She likes to eat. I mean, you just can't feed it enough. So we'll catch y'all later. Later, taters.